So this Eufy 11s slim line vacuum cleaner far exceeded our expectations. We've had it over a month now, and you can pick one of these up for around $200. But I also want to tell you about some things that I think they could improve on. Let's jump right in. Hey guys, I'm Scott Before You Buy, where we do all kinds of tech, home, and fitness equipment reviews. So if that sounds interesting to you, please consider subscribing. Now, we recently did the unboxing of the Eufy 11s. Now that we've had it over a month, I have a little more to say about it. But if you're interested in that, click on one of the cards or click on the description down below. So one thing I gotta say about the vacuum cleaner is it always has time to vacuum for you. As long as it made it back to the charger and it's charged up, it will get up and vacuum. So it's more consistent, which means it's more clean. A more clean house is a happy house to most people, but it's so consistent and it cleans every single day for you. That is one thing we noticed, is our house is just cleaner. Also, the remote makes it super easy to just schedule your daily vacuum cleaning session. You just punch in your time and it's gonna kick off every day at that moment. Now, you can also use the spot cleaning button on this, which we used, like for instance, when we moved the furniture out of the way so it can kind of vacuum up all those incredible amounts of crumbs from their kids under the couch. You just hit the spot cleaning and it just kind of starts into a spiral circle and will finish doing the entire room. Another feature we really loved about this is the Boost IQ, which basically determines is it hardwood or carpet. Now, our main floor is almost 50-50, maybe a little more hard floor. So it's going to automatically adjust to boost to more power when it's on carpet. So it can add that extra suction power to get it out of your carpet, right? But the benefit of that is that means it can run longer on your hard floor and it saves that battery life. You don't think about your vacuum having a battery life, but in a vacuum like this, it's just going to keep bouncing around until the battery is dead and it's going to drive back home. So the longer it can keep bouncing around, the cleaner your house is going to be. So thanks Boost IQ for saving me some more battery life and vacuuming more. It also does a fantastic job with the edge cleaning. I was a little worried about this actually at first because I wasn't sure what to expect. But what it does is it uses those brushes and hits it kind of out in front of itself. So as it keeps moving forward, it will suck that up. It's actually kind of a brilliant idea, and a lot of the robot vacuums have this feature, but I will say it does an incredible job, and it will follow the edge of your counter or the couch. It's kind of interesting watching it kind of weave in and out of the couch to try to get as deep as it can until it kind of gets stuck and it keeps going. But even at the top of the stairs where we have all these little handrails and the dowels, and it's incredible how it was able to just kind of work its way through the top of that and suck it all up and brush off some of that dust, which was actually pretty impressive to me. And obviously a much needed feature is to not tumble down the stairs, and this vacuum is great at that. It makes sure that it goes over to the edge of the stairs and get that last little bit in case there's some crumbs there, but it makes sure that it doesn't actually fall down the stairs. Now, I tested this on the hardwood floor and also upstairs where we have carpet, and it did not fall down, thankfully enough. Now, my vacuum does have some battle wounds on it, kind of some bumps and scratches, but the nice thing is with this soft rubber bumper on the front, it actually does a great job to make sure it doesn't stop. In fact, I've even noticed sometimes it doesn't even go up to the edge of something because the brushes reach all the way out there. So it doesn't even need to go all the way to the corner, and it doesn't even hit the front, which is pretty cool. So there must be sensors in there to allow that to happen. Now, you can see the brushes are definitely well used, and they did send spare brushes, but I'm not going to replace these anytime soon because they are still doing a fantastic job. Of course, they're going to start fanning out, and I have not noticed any issues. Now, one thing I will show you is you can kind of see some hair starting to line up there, and they actually have the tool that is super easy to just cut through that and pull it out. It takes about 5 seconds. But watch this. You may want to look away if you can't stand the dirt. But I haven't looked at it recently, but the first time it vacuums, I will promise you that it's it's kind of scary. Okay, I will say that we had our vacuum or our floors professionally cleaned, wet vac. It looked incredible. And then, 3 weeks later, we got one of these from our friend, and I was shocked at how much it picked up. Unbelievable. So the first time you open it up, don't be afraid. But so you push this little button, you pull it out, you push the button again, as it kind of releases this, and you lift up. Ready for this? Oh my gosh. I think this is maybe 2 days of vacuuming in my house. Maybe it's more than that. I don't know the last time my wife emptied it, but unbelievable how much stuff this picks up. So here's where it obviously sucks it in. And I mean, like I said, this thing is almost too good. Now, before we get to the other things I would kind of want changed on this vacuum cleaner, if this video has been helpful to you, you can literally buy me a cup of coffee, because it's currently 12:28 a.m. and this is when I record my videos, and I'm going to stay up and edit this video to get it out. So help buy me a cup of coffee. This is not a prop. This is a cup of coffee to keep me going. And I often start a pot of coffee at 10 p.m. Just gotta do what we gotta do. So let's jump into the things that I would like to change about this vacuum. The first thing I'd like changed is the scheduling. As I mentioned, we don't really need it to run every day anymore, because our house is generally picked up and generally pretty clean, and I don't need it every single day. Especially since this is a vacuum cleaner, you can't program for just the kitchen every day or anything like that, right? So this is not a programmable smart vac. You can start it, and then it's just going to run and run and run until the batteries are dead and then go back home, okay? But you can't say only do the kitchen, right? So the scheduling only allows you to do a daily schedule. Well, I would prefer every third day maybe, okay? But you just can't do that. So what we've done is we've just turned off all scheduling, and when we notice the house is a little dirty, or every 3, 4, 5 days, we just go and hit start and beep, it's good to go. So that's one thing. I wish you could have more scheduling options. Also, my wife kind of pointed this out. It didn't really bother me, but it does make a lot of random lines in your carpet. So if you want those perfect lines in your carpet, you would not want a smart vac, because that's just the nature of the smart vacs. They're gonna kind of make random lines in your carpet. And she just kind of said, if you have OCD and you need those perfectly straight lines, that's a great point. You may not want something like this. Now, before I get to the value of this vacuum cleaner, the last thing we found was annoying was you almost had to vacuum proof your house a little bit. Now, this totally depends on your house. So we had a few rugs that this would run into and kind of start curling the edges. Okay, so we kind of curl up our front rug now. Now, we wouldn't have to do that, and it's not a huge deal. And maybe if we sticky tack the corners down, this wouldn't even be an issue at all. But it also, the new end tables we bought, it can't go over top of them. It just kind of gets hung up, and it just goes back and forth, and it's just stuck in life, right? So we also have to put our end tables up. So not a huge deal, but this is just something I wanted to point out. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be pretty good. Now, for me and my family, I think having a vacuum cleaner that I could program just the kitchen multiple times a day, or the living room every 3, 4 days only, something like that would be a better fit for my overall family needs. But I will say it's not a huge deal to just hit the power button and it's off and running. And this vacuum, like I mentioned, is incredible. At one of the cheapest vacuums you can buy. It's rated extremely high on Consumer Reports. And before you buy, okay, we rate this vacuum cleaner very high. And lastly, I will say that especially if you're kind of scared of, mothership watching over your house, taking plans and beaming it back home, which maybe you heard that some vacuum companies have done this, or they're selling your floor plan. So if you're not into any of that and you don't want that to happen, this might be the perfect vacuum for you. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments down below. I'm happy to answer every single one. Till next time, thanks for watching. See you.